All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. This one's going to be a bit of a shorter one today. I'm just going to quickly go over everything as far as Bitcoin and the altcoins. Not going to be a super long one. So, because not a lot happened today as well. Yesterday, we did reject from that 88,600 level of key resistance that I've been waiting for weeks for us to come up to. We did get that rejection. I did take the short from there with a TP1 at the 382, the local 382 and daily bullish back test. That was around 86,900. I'm just going to go ahead and throw on the 382 here real quick. You can see that 382 was around 86,900. We did break past that 382 yesterday, but I want to talk about this because we front ran the 0.5, and your most common targets for a wave 4 correction, going from the lows of 3 to the highs of 3, is between the 382 and the 0.5. So technically, yes, we hit the target for a wave 4 correction. We did front run the 0.5, and I want to talk about this because your wave 2, generally you want it to be longer than your wave 4, you want to be longer than your wave 2. So you can see our wave 2 took 1 day and 2 hours of a correction over the weekend. That was on Saturday. Now, if we take the same measurement of our highs from wave 3 down to our potential lows of wave 4, you can see it only took 14 hours. So it is shorter in time, which is not a clean invalidation, but it is I would say it's a concern here. And so what I'm looking at now with us coming up here and hitting the 886 and rejecting, because we did front run the 0.5, now we have a liquidity grab into the 0.5 at the bottom of our ascending channel. This could be an A, B, C correction in our fourth wave, kind of like a descending channel here in our fourth wave before coming up to our fifth wave targets here. Now, the targets for the fifth wave are a couple. I'm looking at a range here. So you can see that right now, if we did come down to the 0.5, so I moved this fib down to that 0.5 level. So right now, we would have to keep it here. But you can see the targets are generally right in this area here around 90,150 to 90,300, where we do have our ascending channel midline. We have our bigger pitchfork midline. But like I talked about yesterday, in our bigger chart with our high time frame pitchfork levels up here, much higher time frame pitchfork levels, and it's our prior range lows around 90,500 to about 90,900. So I'm going to say the wave 5 target zone for me is between like 90,200 to 90,900, with us probably coming down to take out these lows first into the 0.5. There is a small possibility that this is it for the correction that we've been seeing from the 76.6 lows. There is a possibility that this is it, that we did finally come up to our key resistance that I've been watching for this correction to come up to for weeks now. We have hit that correction. There is a possibility that if we do come down, now the invalidation for this impulse is as follows. If we take our Fibonacci from the lows of wave 2 to the highs of wave 3, and we turn on our golden pocket, if we hit this golden pocket at 85,600 to 85,460, this will invalidate the impulse. You can see also we would be breaking our ascending channel to the downside. In this case, we might say the bigger pullback is now. We are not going to make one more push up. The bigger pullback is now from our resistance that we knew was going to be a strong resistance. And in that case, I would look for a move down to the point of control around 84,200. And if that point of control doesn't hold, a move down to the value area low, which is just basic range trading. So in this range that we're seeing since these lows of the bigger impulse, we made that 3-wave Trump tweet correction, another ABC correction to the downside, making new lows, hitting our 1.236 target at 96.6. And now complex corrective structure all the way up to our key range. It was a deviation of the value area low, broke back into the value area, found resistance around the point of control, dropped to the value area low, back tested the value area low, and flipped it into support, confirming that the market wants to retrade within this fair value zone of this area. Now, we busted through the point of control finally, filled in this low volume gap here on the charts up into our resistance area. Then we came down over the last weekend, held the point of control now as support overall, and made a move up to the value area high. I didn't mean to go that high, but you know, we made a move up to the value area high. So now that we're at the value area high, it is possible that we do reject from this area, lose our local support, and come down to the point of control. If we lose the point of control, it is the highest probability to come down to the value area low and see if we can hold the value area low. That is what I'm watching for right now on Bitcoin. So locally, the SFP into the 0.5 is the most crucial thing that I'm watching right now. Okay, that is about it for Bitcoin, guys. I mean, we do have some liquidity that's above us. We do have some liquidity that's below us. If we go into our liquidation heat map, model 2, you can see a lot of liquidity above us. Let's go onto our 3-day chart. No, it was the 1-week chart. Liquidity below Friday's lows. And we have the local liquidity above us. So we have some liquidity that can be taken out on both sides. But if we break, once again, if we break this, we're at least coming to grab this liquidity, which is around the point of control, a little bit underneath the point of control. So that's a bit concerning. And we are at that bigger resistance that I've been talking about. Okay, that is it. No, it's not, because I want to talk about in the Discord today, in the live stream in the Discord, I was talking about this bullish CVD absorption that we were seeing on the charts. You can see here, higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the CVD, higher highs on the open interest. Fresh shorts coming in. Those shorts are not pushing the price down. Someone is absorbing those shorts. But now, look at what we are seeing here. Our open interest is decreasing now quite drastically. And the last 3 or 4 times on my YouTube channel that I have shown this, it is completely invalidated the bullish absorption. And the bullish absorption did not play out because we did not take out the highs. You got to remember, the target for this bullish absorption is to come take our highs at 88,600 from yesterday. We rejected from the 0.886, from this high down to this low. We rejected from the 886. Now, if we do come down and take out this low into the 0.5, it is still a very high probability, higher probability now that we do come take out those highs there. But if we lose that, this bullish absorption that I was talking about during the live stream is not now, to me, very concerning, that it's actually almost been invalidated in my mind, because anytime we see a steady increase in open interest, but we start to see a little bit of a correction before taking those highs and seeing this open interest decline this much, it has invalidated the bullish absorption and ended up not working. The past 4 times I've seen it in the last month or 2 in this channel, and if you go back and watch my videos, I don't remember which ones they were, but every single time it does invalidate it. So I have to pay attention to that. So I just want to point that out. But I still think we can grab that low, the 0.5 liquidity, and then see another move up. We'll have to see once we get down there. If it happens overnight while I'm sleeping, I'm going to miss it. Okay, back to the charts. Ethereum is just trading in this descending channel. You saw it. We did see this pump here. Now, this to me does look a little bit corrective here in this descending channel. So if we do kind of continue to grind down in this descending channel here, overall I see this could be like an A wave down, this could be a B wave up, and this could be a C wave down to the bottom of the descending channel, where we do have our 1-to-1 target. You can see our 1-to-1 targets right at the bottom of the descending channel, which also happens to be in confluence with our ascending channel support and our golden pocket from these lows to these highs. So that would be an area where I'd be looking for a local bounce on Ethereum to continue to bring us upwards. But it would invalidate an impulse. If this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The thing is with a fourth wave correction, remember the invalidation for a fourth wave correction is hitting the golden pocket of wave 3. So we would be hitting the golden pocket down here. And even if we see a push up, we can't classify it as an impulse anymore. I would actually be looking for a push up to the top of the channel, or even a push up to grab your local B wave highs where we have our daily level. We have a daily level up here at 2081. So just be aware of that. It would invalidate the impulse. And so in that case, I would be looking for the SFP of these highs near our daily. And then we could see what happens once that data develops. Okay, and if we lose this support, we would be losing our bigger channel to the downside, our bigger pink ascending channel to the downside. Let's zoom out to the 2-hour chart. We would be losing that to the downside, and I would then look for another backtest of this value area high around 1976. If that doesn't hold point of control of the range, you'd be breaking back into the range. Anytime you deviate a range and you break back into it, you're most likely about to break back down to the point of control, which you can see here. The point of control has the golden pocket. It is our point of control, of course, our POC, and we have a naked daily POC there. Now, if we do a Fibonacci pull from the lows to the highs, you can see that our golden pocket, our macro golden pocket of this daily correction, is coming in right on top of our weekly at 1886. Also, it happens to be where the second pivot of our channel is. And anytime we break a channel to the downside, we usually come for at least the liquidity of the second pivot, if not the liquidity of the entire channel. So those are the areas of support. This guy here, and then the weekly at 1886 into the golden pocket. And then if we break that, you know, we do have our value area low down here, but I'm actually, if we break our golden pocket, I do think there's a high probability we do come take our lows into the bottom of our pitchfork channel. Wait. Yeah, the bottom of our daily channel. I'm sorry. Not a pitchfork. Daily descending channel. Okay, that is it for Ethereum. Now, Solana. Solana was a little bit more bullish than some of the other coins today. You can see we actually made new highs above yesterday's highs. No other coin did that today, but Solana did. But overall, we are trading in this big year-long range that I've been talking about in all of my videos, this year-long range since the March 2024. We deviated the value area low, got back in the value area, back tested the value area, flipped it to support. So what is most common? To work our way up to the point of control to see if the point of control can hold us, or I mean, if we can flip it to support and continue higher, or it's going to reject us and we're going to drop right back down. So right now we are seeing a bit of a small rejection on the daily chart. You can see here on the daily chart, we cannot close the daily above it. Also, let me go on to my other chart. And I want to show you, this is a different pitchfork. This is a bullish pitchfork pulled from Solana from the beginning of the bull market. You can see that we were above it for a while, broke back into it, back tested it, came down to the first upper band, held it for a bit, lost it. And this is the important part I want to talk about. So you can see this red ascending pitchfork midline. Well, on the daily chart, in this area, we were seeing wicks past it on the daily, but no daily candle body closes below it. It was holding as support. We had finally lost it to the downside, and now we are back testing it as resistance. So if we reject here from our year-long point of control and our high time frame pitchfork midline resistance, we can expect a move down at least probably to our value area low or golden pocket area. If we do our golden pocket pull from the lows to the highs, you can see our golden pocket is right in the value area low. So if we are going to start rejecting on Solana from this area, which is, by the way, why I took profit at 144, then we probably are going to see a move down to 125 to 124, where our golden pocket and value area low of the range is. If that doesn't hold, then we're probably coming for these lows at $110 into our pitchfork band of support. Down here. 105, 106. So if we break it to the upside and start closing daily candles above it, I do expect a move up to 154 to 156, where you can see we have an SFP liquidity grab of our B wave. Zoom in onto the 4-hour chart. Remember, all these coins had this big A, B, C correction to the downside. So our B wave highs, SFP into the golden pocket. That's the next area I'd be looking for some resistance to come in on Solana. Right now, we are starting to see a bit of a correction on all these coins, a bit of a pullback. So those are my levels. Now, there is other smaller levels, guys, within this, like this golden pocket into the value area low is the major support level. If we start to break our channel to the downside, this ascending channel to the downside. But you can see we do have a fresh naked daily point of control at 131 into the pitchfork band of support now. It was resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. We finally flipped it, so it could act as support. So at 131, we have some local support where we could see a bounce, even if it's to make a lower high and then continue dropping. We also have some local support at 128 to 127. We have a naked weekly point of control and a daily level between 128 and 127. So that is an area we have to pay attention to for a possible bounce, even if it's going to be a bounce to make another lower high to continue down to the golden pocket value area low. But we're not going to probably flush straight down. We're going to see small bounces along the way to make lower highs. Okay, there's that for Solana. Let's go into XRP. XRP, really nothing happened today. Overnight, we finally did reject from that area. We came down to our golden pocket, which was the area I was talking about in yesterday's video. So if we do that golden pocket pull, you can see we did come down to that golden pocket, hit into that golden pocket perfectly, saw the bounce, and now we're just chopping around the point of control. So we rejected from the value area high. We're in the process of back testing the point of control, but locally we did bounce from our golden pocket. Just like with Solana and Bitcoin, when we chop around the point of control, you can tend to get a bit of a range chopping up and down through it for a few days before actually making a move. So we're just in that process. If we do break this to the upside, we do have a small micro resistance above us. It's a resistance, but it's not a high time frame important level I'm talking about. But it is a daily level and a 786 around 254 to 254.6. And then this box up here that we had rejected from earlier, the anchored VWAP and the value area high, we do have the value area high of our bigger range. This range is just from after that big flash crash, after we wiped out all the liquidity. But if we look at our bigger range of this entire descending channel, this guy here, the value area high is near the top of this box. And we have a daily level. No, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, there is a daily level in there. And there's the liquidity grab of these highs that we haven't taken yet. Anchored VWAP has been hit. So, and then the golden pocket as well that we did not hit yet. Highs to lows. Golden pocket. Actually, did we hit the golden pocket? I think we did hit the 618 of the golden pocket. So actually we have hit that. But I would still be looking. We could come up into this area, SFP this into the top of the box, and then see another move down. So I'm still keeping the box on my chart. All of that to say I'm still keeping the box on my chart as a resistance for now. To the downside, I mean, we do have a new naked weekly point of control that we front ran last night. It's still there. I mean, I'm not paying too much attention to it. We could see a small bounce, especially if we're starting to range. Especially if we're just doing this rangy type price action here. Then we could bounce from it, come back up a little bit to the top of this little range, bounce. And then same with the daily. You know, start to form a range in here. But overall, the big levels of support, I would be looking for this SFP of these lows here into a naked daily point of control and a naked weekly point of control. And then we have the big level of support down in this box, which is our value area low, our golden pocket, a weekly naked daily point of control, and the channel midline of that big descending channel, which is this dotted midline that's coming down here. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at on XRP. Link here. Link is, okay, yesterday we had front run our box of resistance above us, and just barely. And I wanted to see if we could make it up there. You know, I had an SFP into the box of resistance. We finally got that push up into the box of resistance. And now we are starting to see, we saw a range form in that box of resistance all day long, and now we are starting to break to the downside. This channel, I still do like this channel better. I tried to redraw it based off of this new price action here, but it fits best with this channel, so I have to leave it here because that is the trend, even though we had a deviation of it in this area here. But if we start to break this channel to the downside, I do think we're going to come down to SFP these lows into our point of control. We have a 786 down there and a daily. That is between 14 and 13.92. Okay. We do have a new naked daily point of control at 13.748, and we have the liquidity grab into the naked daily point of control. That is a support, but it's not the bet. It's not my primary levels that I'm looking at. The next box I have is the SFP of the second pivot of the channel. Anytime you break a channel to the downside, you'll at least sweep the liquidity of the second pivot, if not all of the liquidity. So the second pivot liquidity sweep into the weekly at 13.36 is a level I would be watching for. And then if that just brings us for a lower high bounce and we continue down, we have the daily, the value area low, and the golden pocket. Now that golden pocket is a golden pocket from the lows all the way to the highs. So that area here, let me grab this, between 13.116 and 12.968. And then, of course, we have the SFP into the 786, but I'm not going to go over that right now. So those are the levels to the downside. I'm looking if we start to break this ascending channel, really start to break down, because we are finally at our resistance that we've been waiting for. If this resistance can break up, you can see it's the value area high of our range, just like Bitcoin's value area high of its intermediate range. If we can start to break it up, I mean, this box up here, the 786, and it's the value area high of a much bigger range, that could be an area where we could find resistance. It would also be near the channel midline. But up here at $17, we have a daily and a naked weekly point of control. That is a big area that I'd be watching for. That's it for Chainlink. Now, one more I want to go into real quick because this has been super bullish lately. Not late, like just recently here. So we finally hit into our box of resistance that I had marked out last time we marked this out. Last time we spoke about super, I believe we were down near this midline here and we were still trying to break the midline. But you can see bounce from the bottom of our channel. I want to zoom out for a second because this channel we have been in for 2 years. Since December of 2024, for 15 months, we've been in a downtrend in this descending channel, very steep descending channel to the downside. We hit into the bottom of the channel. We found support. We finally chopped around the midline for a bit. Once we broke the midline, we just now today exploded to the top of the channel. Now, you can see here, It's a bit confusing, but we also have a inside pitchfork based off of our prior impulse here. The lows of the accumulation, first correction. We can see here on the charts, clear accumulation here during the bear market. Expansion here. Now we have been kind of ranging, and this could be, by the way, a distribution range with your first big impulse to the upside, correction, your second higher high in a distribution. Your second high in a distribution is always higher than your first high. And if this is going to be a Model 2 distribution, we can look for the push up to the golden pocket, where we then make a lower high, making that sort of head and shoulders topping pattern, where we can drop to the downside to our golden pocket or lower. If this is a Model 1 distribution, then we will come higher, breaking above our second high, making a new high, and then see the distribution happen. So, but either way, this 15-month downtrend, very steep downtrend we are seeing now, is finally seeing signs of breaking. Let's zoom in onto the 2-hour chart. Let's come on to grab that channel. Where is he at? Did I delete it? Okay. There we go. Okay, so you can see we're at the top of the channel right now. Bounced from the bottom, pumped up to the top. The top also happened to be where our pitchfork band is. You can see this pitchfork band that also held this support during that super crazy crash like 6 Sundays ago. We are rejecting, or we're finding resistance. We're not really rejecting yet. Let me zoom in on this hourly. We are at the top of the channel. We are at our resistance with a daily and a naked daily point of control. It is our pitchfork band, and it is the top of the channel. Now, money flow looks good. No bear divs on the hourly. Same with the 4-hour. Honestly, this thing looks like it wants to run. We might see a pullback from this area, or what I'm actually looking at leaning towards now is pumping up to our point of control, which is of our large range. So if we zoom out back onto the daily and we pull a range, a volume profile of the end of the impulse all the way in this entire 2-year correction, you can see our point of control is just above us, where we have a naked daily point of control at 63, or sorry, yeah, 63.8. And then we have, let me zoom in here, our 786 up there. And that 786 is from this high to this low. We have our 786 up there. So making our way a little bit higher into this box of resistance between 63 cents and 63, I'd say 63.9. We could come up to this area, reject, which would mean we'd be breaking the channel. I would look for a bullish back test of the channel over the next few days, where we kind of grind down slowly to back test our pitchfork band of support as well, and the bullish back test, and then shoot up to this area up here, which is our next major resistance level. We have a weekly in between that, but there's not too much else there. Where you can see this red line is our pitchfork midline. We have a naked weekly point of control there, and we have the liquidity of these 3 highs that's resting right above that as well. These 4 highs, 1, 2, 3, 4, all in close confluence up into this area. Now this area is between 82.6 and 86.5. That is, I think, looks super bullish right now, guys. If we can break this, it looks super bullish. I'm going to be waiting for a pullback, and I am going to look to long this thing. I am a little bit concerned about this 3-wave move that we are seeing, though. So far, this does look a bit 3-wavy. This entire move up we're seeing here. A, B, C. If this is an ABC, then we're probably going to end right around where we're at. So let's go ahead and look at our targets for the ABC correction. Going from, hold on, let me do that. Let me zoom out onto like the 4-hour chart. Trend-based Fibonacci extinction. Our targets for our correction are between the 1-to-1 and the 1-2-3-6. Look at where we're at. We're in that target zone right now. Between the 1-to-1 and the 1-2-3-6. Now, we haven't quite touched the 1.236 at 61 cents yet. So, there is a possibility that if this is a 3-wave ABC correction, we could roll over. And if that's the case, then we could make new lows below this low into our really key support down here at 36.87, like 35 cents, which is where our prior lows were as well. So, and also that makes sense on a more macro time frame. Let me go out to the daily. We had our impulse to the upside, clear, crazy impulse to the upside. And then on the higher time frame, are we seeing a B flat, which is an A wave here, a B wave here, where you take the highs of A in your B wave, making it a B flat Elliott correction, and then your C wave, you would come down and take your lows of A. You can see that we did not take the lows of A. We front ran them just barely. So if this is an ABC correction here, roll over one more time, come down, take those lows, and then see the push up. That is the scenario I'm watching on Super. But Super right now, and I heard on Twitter from all the people, the crypto bros and the gaming people, that gaming, and there's supposed to be some really big announcements, and gaming is supposed to run in April. So maybe this is why this is starting to pump like this. I don't go off of those fundamentals and rumors. I go off technicals, but I do account for them. Like sentiment is key in crypto, especially in crypto. Sentiment is key. So if there's going to be very bullish sentiment on new crypto gaming, then Super's going to run. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope this video helped. If you got anything out of this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow. I just want to say I appreciate all your support, and I appreciate all the love you guys give me. It really does help me keep to making these videos every single day. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one.